And it's, it's amazing because the arch, what it's saying is, and it really reveals everything, because through just the way Baal got into Israel, Baal got into America. First things that we were saying that are in the shadows, immorality, all these things, anti-Christian. All of a sudden they started saying, well, let's be tolerant of it. Let's add it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's mix a little with the worship of God. Let's add some of this stuff. Let's make God carnal. Actually, even making God a means to get prosperity. Not that God doesn't bless, but this is part of it too. And at the same time, and then let's just tolerate everything for God. And then as it gets stronger, what happens to this spirit? It says, now there is no room for God. Now we're going to legislate you out. Now we're coming in where you drove God out. We're coming in where God what used to be. We're going to come into your schools. You drove him out of there. We're going to come to your children.
But this is happening.
It's happening.
This is where we are now.
Yes. It's happening at every moment. And what we just spoke about, look, here we are at this time of this election and all those things. And look what's happening. We've been more brazen about abortion. That's the sin of Baal.
Yeah.
That's the sin. So at the same time, all that's happening, the sign of Baal appears in New York.
And some of the people in our government are making lists of the most dangerous people, and now we're on that list.
Because that's exactly what happens.
The evangelical Christians are on the danger list. Even Vietnam veterans and veterans period are on the most danger list of being hostile, and instead of our real enemies, they're making the Christians the enemies, and so we have become the enemy.
But that's exactly what happened in the last days of Israel and in the template. They started saying that you, the believers, you're the dangerous ones. What did they say when they were worshiping Baal? Ahab went to Elijah and said, you are the troublemaker of Israel. And Elijah said, no, you are. I'm not. You are. And the thing is that, so they started calling the prophets the dangerous ones. They called Jeremiah dangerous, unpatriotic. They put him in jail. When the judgment came, he was there in jail. So that's exactly the sign of the last days.
Oh, that's a dark picture. We don't want to hear. They don't want to hear what the prophets say.
No, and God said, here you are going after the ways of the nations. You're worshiping the Assyrian gods. You're going to worship all that. You're worshiping that which is against you, and they're persecuting the people who are for them. And so he says, okay, God says, okay, you want the Assyrians? you're going to get them. And that's what happened.
Is this arch a sign? Is this God letting them do this? Is this... like the enemy comes right in and puts this in New York City?
Yeah. And it is as people say things and they don't realize why they're saying them. When the guy said, of all the places on earth, it belongs in New York City. He said more than he knew. This is the abortion. This is all these things began there. And so much of immorality as also movements began there. So this is I don't believe anybody. It's just like with the harbingers. Nobody's putting it. It's a spiritual thing. It's a prophetic thing. It's a prophetic sign of what's actually happening in our culture. But there it is. There it is. Who would think of all things? Why? But why all those things? Why? Why do they put up a song? Why do they quote from Isaiah 9:10, which is judgment on America? Why do they do that? They don't know why they're doing it, but the harbingers must manifest.
Wow.
This is the sign. We are in the days of Baal.